She said, "I think we should open our relationship. My ex is in town and I want to explore my feelings." I replied, "I'll think about it." Then I went on a dating app, matched with her sister, and sent her the screenshot of our conversation. When her sister showed up at our apartment to confront her, "Look, I need to tell someone about this because my friends think I'm either a genius or completely insane, and honestly I'm still not sure which one is correct." This whole thing started 3 weeks ago when my girlfriend Vanessa hit me with the most ridiculous conversation opener I've ever heard in my life. We're sitting on the couch watching some show neither of us was really paying attention to. I'm eating leftover pizza, she's scrolling through her phone, normal Tuesday night. Then out of nowhere she goes quiet, puts her phone down, and does that thing where she shifts to face me with her legs crossed. You know that position, the "we need to have a serious talk" position. My first thought was, oh great, what did I forget this time? She takes a deep breath and says we need to talk about us. About our relationship and where it's going. I'm thinking, okay, here comes the marriage talk or the moving in together talk or something normal. Wrong. So incredibly wrong. She looks me dead in the eye and says she's been doing a lot of thinking lately. Her ex-boyfriend Josh is moving back to town next month. They dated for 3 years in college. And apparently she never really got closure with him because he moved across the country right after they broke up. Now he's coming back and she's been feeling confused. I'm sitting there with a piece of pepperoni halfway to my mouth just staring at her. She keeps going, says she thinks we should consider opening our relationship, just temporarily, just so she can explore these feelings she's been having. She wants to see Josh a few times, figure out if there's still something there or if it's just nostalgia. Then once she has closure, she can fully commit to us. I put my pizza down, asked her to repeat that. She does, almost word for word. I asked if she was serious. She said completely serious, that this is her being honest and mature about her feelings instead of going behind my back, that she thought I'd appreciate the transparency. The transparency. I almost laughed. Instead, I just nodded slowly and said, okay, let me think about it. She looked surprised that I didn't immediately say no. Asked if I was mad. I said no, I'm not mad, I just need to process this. She seemed relieved, said she knew I'd understand, that this is what emotionally mature couples do. She went to bed around 11. I stayed up, thinking about a lot of things. We'd been together for 2 years. I loved her, or at least I thought I did. But sitting there on that couch, I realized something. If she's asking permission to see if the grass is greener with her ex, she's already checked out of this relationship. The asking is just her way of not feeling guilty about it. I wasn't angry. That's the weird part. I was just done. Completely done. Like a switch flipped in my head and I went from being her boyfriend to being a guy who needed an exit strategy. Here's the thing about me. I'm a graphic designer. I work from home. I make decent money doing freelance branding for small businesses. I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable. I've got my own place, a 1-bedroom apartment I've had for 4 years. Vanessa moved in about 6 months ago. Started contributing to groceries and utilities. But the lease is mine, the furniture is mine, the deposit was mine. I'm also the kind of person who doesn't do drama. I don't yell, I don't throw things, I don't make scenes. When something's over, it's over. I cut it clean and move on. My dad was the same way. He used to say never waste energy on people who don't value you. Just remove yourself and let them figure out what they lost. So I'm sitting there at 1 in the morning thinking about how to handle this. And then I remember something. Her sister, Lauren, 2 years older than Vanessa. Completely different personality. Where Vanessa is all about social media and appearances and what people think, Lauren is straightforward and no nonsense. Works as a nurse, does kickboxing, has her life together. We've met maybe 5 or 6 times at family things. Always got along fine. She seemed cool. And I remembered something from about 3 months ago at a family barbecue. I was helping Lauren's dad with the grill. Lauren came over, handed me a beer, and we talked for a bit. She asked how things were going with Vanessa. I said good. She got this look on her face, like she wanted to say something but didn't. Then she just said, well, you seem like a good guy. Hope my sister appreciates that. It felt pointed, but I didn't think much of it at the time. There was also Vanessa's mom's birthday dinner last month. Someone made a joke about relationships, and Lauren said something like, "If Vanessa ever screws this up, I'm not letting this one get away." Everyone laughed awkwardly. Vanessa gave her a death glare. Lauren just shrugged and changed the subject. At the time, I thought it was just sister banter. Now I was wondering if there was more to it. I grabbed my phone and opened Instagram. Found Lauren's profile. It was mostly workout videos and pictures with friends. But there was one photo from about a year ago that caught my attention. It was her at what looked like a bachelorette party. Big smile, bride sash on another woman, standard party photo. But the caption said, "Supporting my girl Katie on her big day. Real friends show up even when your own family doesn't." I clicked through the comments. Someone asked where Vanessa was. Lauren replied, "Ask her." That was it. Just ask her. I did some more digging. Found an old Facebook post from 2 years ago. Lauren announcing her engagement. Tons of congratulations. Then 3 months later, a simple post. Wedding's off. Thank you to everyone who reached out. I'm fine. Moving forward. Nothing else about it. I texted my buddy Marcus. He's friends with Lauren's ex-roommate. Asked if he knew what happened with Lauren's engagement. He called me instead of texting back. Turns out Lauren's fiancé cheated on her at her own bachelorette party with someone else who was there. Lauren found out the next day when someone sent her photos. She confronted him. He confessed. She called off the wedding. Lost the venue deposit, the catering deposit, everything. Spent months dealing with the fallout. I asked who the girl was. Marcus said he didn't know her name, just that it caused a huge family drama because apparently the girl was related to Lauren somehow. He couldn't remember the details. I thanked him and hung up. Pulled up Vanessa's Facebook, scrolled back 2 years. Found photos from a party that matched the timeline. Lauren's bachelorette weekend. Vanessa was there in some of the photos. Lots of group shots, club pictures, normal party stuff. Then I found one photo that was interesting. It was posted by one of Lauren's friends. A candid shot of someone who looked like Vanessa talking very close to a guy at the bar. The friend had tagged Lauren in it with the caption, "Your sister is wild, lol." The post was from 2 years ago. It had been deleted at some point, but was still cached in a Google search. I sat there staring at my phone, the pieces clicking together. 2 years ago, Lauren's engagement ended because her fiancé cheated at her bachelorette party. Vanessa was at that party. Lauren had been cold to Vanessa ever since based on family interactions I'd witnessed. The weird comments at the barbecue and birthday dinner suddenly made sense. Vanessa had slept with Lauren's fiancé. I was almost certain of it, and Lauren had never forgiven her. This changed things, because if I was right, Lauren wasn't just Vanessa's sister. She was someone with a very good reason to want Vanessa to experience what betrayal feels like. I opened a dating app I'd deleted when Vanessa and I got serious, reactivated my account, updated my photos, made my bio simple, graphic designer, recently single. Apparently, I need to explore my feelings too. Then I searched by first name and age range, found Lauren's profile on the first app I tried. Her bio said, "ER nurse. Sarcasm is my love language. Swipe left if you can't handle honesty." I didn't swipe. Instead, I sent her a direct message on Instagram. Kept it simple. "Hey Lauren, random question. You free for coffee tomorrow? Wanna ask you something about Vanessa. Nothing bad, just need an outside perspective." She responded 20 minutes later. "Sure. I'm off at 3. Coffee place on Main St." I said perfect. We confirmed the time. I went to bed. Next morning, Vanessa asked if I'd thought about what she said. I told her still processing, needed more time. She said take all the time I needed. She wasn't planning to see Josh for a few weeks anyway. Real generous of her. I met Lauren at 3:30. She was already there in scrubs looking tired. I got us both coffee and sat down. She got straight to it. "So what's up? Vanessa do something stupid?" I appreciated the directness. Told her the whole thing. The open relationship request. Josh coming back to town. The temporary exploration plan. The emotional maturity speech. Lauren's face went through several expressions. Disbelief. Anger, then something that looked like satisfaction. She leaned back in her chair. "Wow, she actually said that to you?" I nodded. Lauren shook her head. "That's so perfectly Vanessa. Make it sound like she's being the mature one while she does whatever she wants." I took a chance, asked her what happened 2 years ago. With her engagement, her expression hardened. She told you about that? I said no, that I'd pieced some things together and wanted to know if I was right. She studied me for a long moment. Then she told me everything. Her fiancé's name was Derek. They'd been together 3 years. The bachelorette party was in Vegas. Big group of friends, including Vanessa. Second night there, Lauren went to bed early because she wasn't feeling well. Derek was staying at a different hotel with his groomsmen, but texted her saying he couldn't sleep and was going to get a drink. One of Lauren's friends couldn't sleep either and went down to the hotel bar. Saw Derek and Vanessa together, very together, making out in a corner booth. The friend took a photo and sent it to Lauren immediately. Lauren confronted them both. Derek claimed he was drunk and didn't know what he was doing. Vanessa cried and said she was drunk too. That it didn't mean anything. That Lauren was overreacting. That it was just a kiss and she should be able to forgive her own sister. Lauren called off the wedding, lost thousands in deposits. Her parents tried to mediate, wanted her to forgive Vanessa because family is family. Lauren refused. Found out later through friends that Vanessa and Derek kept seeing each other for months after. They'd started the affair before the bachelorette party. The Vegas hookup was just when they got caught. She looked at me with hard eyes. So yeah, my sister has a pattern of taking things that aren't hers and then making herself the victim when there are consequences. If she's trying to pull this open relationship thing on you, she's already started something with Josh. She just wants your permission so she doesn't have to feel guilty. I knew she was right. Asked Lauren if she wanted to help me make a point. She raised an eyebrow. What kind of point? I laid it out. The dating app, the match, the screenshot, showing up to visit and casually revealing she'd matched with me, letting Vanessa see what it feels like to be on the other side. Lauren smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. When we planned it for that evening, Lauren would show up around 7. I'd act surprised. She'd play it casual until the right moment, then drop the bomb. I went home. Vanessa was there, making dinner, acting completely normal. Asked about my day. I said fine, had coffee with a friend. She didn't ask who, didn't really care as long as I wasn't talking about the open relationship thing as she'd started calling it. Doorbell rang at 7:15. Vanessa looked confused. I said I'd get it. Lauren was there in jeans and a hoodie, looking perfectly casual. Hey, I was nearby, thought I'd stop by and say hi. Mom mentioned you guys were doing good. Vanessa appeared behind me. Her smile was tight, but she played along. Oh, hey, this is unexpected. We sat in the living room. Lauren carried the conversation, talking about work, asking about our jobs, being friendly. Vanessa was clearly uncomfortable but couldn't say anything without being rude. After about 15 minutes, Lauren pulled out her phone. Oh, Ness, I have to tell you about this weird thing that happened today. You know that dating app you're always saying I should try? I finally re-downloaded it. Vanessa's expression flickered. Okay? Yeah, and I matched with this guy who looked so familiar. Couldn't figure out where I knew him from at first. She scrolled through her phone. Then I realized. She turned the screen to show Vanessa. It was a screenshot of a dating app conversation. Lauren had messaged first. Wait, is this Vanessa's boyfriend? My reply. Not for much longer apparently. She wants to open the relationship to explore things with her ex. Figured I'd explore my options too. The silence was incredible. Vanessa's face went white, then red, then white again. She looked at the phone, at Lauren, at me, back at the phone. What the hell is this? I stayed calm. Exactly what it looks like. You wanted to explore your feelings. I'm exploring mine. That's my sister. And Josh is your ex-boyfriend. What's the difference? Lauren jumped in, and I could hear the satisfaction in her voice. He has a point, Ness. You wanted an open relationship? That means it goes both ways. Vanessa stood up. This is insane. You can't date my sister. That's completely crossing a line. I raised my eyebrows. But you dating your ex while we're still together isn't crossing a line? That's different. Josh and I have history. We need closure. And apparently your sister and I have chemistry. According to the app, we're a 95% match. Lauren was clearly trying not to laugh. Vanessa saw it and turned on her. You think this is funny? You're doing this to get back at me, aren't you? Because of Derek? Lauren's smile disappeared. Derek? Oh, you mean my fiancé that you slept with? The one you kept seeing for months after you destroyed my wedding? That Derek? Vanessa's face crumpled. That was 2 years ago. You need to let that go. I did let it go. I let you go. We're not close anymore and that's fine. But don't act like I'm doing something wrong here. Your boyfriend is single and adult. If we match on a dating app, that's between us. He's not single. We're still together, I spoke up. Are we? Because last I checked, you wanted to open the relationship so you could date other people. That sounds pretty single to me. Vanessa looked at me with genuine panic now. I didn't mean you could date other people. I meant you wanted permission to cheat without consequences. I get it, but that's not how it works. She started crying. You're doing this to hurt me. Both of you. Lauren stood up. I came here to visit my sister. Found out she's matched with her boyfriend on a dating app. That's not my fault. That's yours. She looked at me. I should go. This is clearly a bad time. She headed for the door. Vanessa yelled after her to stay out of her life. Lauren left without responding. The door closed. Vanessa turned to me, mascara running, looking destroyed. I can't believe you did this. I was trying to be honest with you, trying to be mature about my feelings, and you go behind my back and match with my sister? I didn't go behind your back. You asked for an open relationship. I opened it. You just don't like who I opened it with. That's not the same. Why not? Explain to me how you dating your ex-boyfriend that you dated for 3 years is different from me, matching with your sister who I've met half a dozen times and seems like a decent person. She couldn't. She tried. She stuttered through several different arguments. That family is off limits, that I was being cruel, that this was revenge for something. But every argument circled back to her feeling entitled to date Josh, while I stayed faithful and waited. Finally, I told her straight, I'm not doing an open relationship. Not with your ex, not with anyone. If you want to explore your feelings with Josh, you're free to do that. As a single woman, I'll help you pack. She stared at me. You're breaking up with me? You broke up with us the second you asked to see other people. I'm just making it official. She went through the whole cycle, crying, apologizing, saying she didn't mean it, she was just confused. She loved me. Then when that didn't work, she got angry. Called me manipulative, said matching with Lauren was cruel and calculated to hurt her. I told her she was right. It was calculated. Calculated to show her what it feels like to be on the other side. To watch someone you're supposed to be with show interest in someone else. She didn't like that answer. She asked where she was supposed to go. I reminded her that her lease at her old place didn't end until next month. She'd kept it, was still paying rent there, had only moved some stuff in with me. She could go back there. She said she'd already sublet it to a friend. I said that's not my problem. She has friends, she has family, she'll figure it out. She slept on the couch that night. I could hear her making calls, crying to friends. Around midnight, someone finally agreed to let her stay with them. Next morning, I woke up and she was gone. She texted me around noon, long message about how she never actually wanted to see Josh. She was just testing me to see if I'd fight for her. And I failed. I didn't respond. Her friends started messaging me, calling me heartless. I ignored most of them. Told one that if Vanessa wanted to keep our relationship, she shouldn't have asked permission to sleep with her ex. They stopped after that. 3 days later, Lauren texted. Asked how I was holding up. I said fine. Kind of relieved, actually. She said good. Then asked if I wanted to grab a drink sometime. I asked if she was serious. She said yeah, why not? We clearly get along. We're both single. We're both adults. And she thought my handling of the whole situation was pretty attractive. I told her I appreciated that, but I needed some time. The breakup was 3 days old. Even though I was over Vanessa, jumping straight into something with her sister felt messy. She said she understood. Take whatever time I needed. She'd be around. A week went by. Vanessa kept texting. The messages cycled through apologizing, blaming, manipulating. She'd heard through family that Lauren and I were talking. Called me disgusting for actually pursuing her sister. I pointed out I wasn't pursuing anyone, just having conversations. She said I was lying, that I'd planned this from the start. 2 weeks after the breakup, Vanessa showed up at my apartment with her mom. I opened the door and they both stood there looking concerned. Her mom asked if we could talk. I said no, but she came in anyway. Her mom tried the mediation approach. Said Vanessa had made a mistake, that she was young and confused, that asking for an open relationship was wrong, but I was overreacting by dating her sister. I asked if her mom knew about Derek. She blinked, asked what I meant. I told her. About Lauren's wedding, about Vanessa sleeping with Derek, about the affair that continued for months, about how Vanessa's pattern is taking things that aren't hers and playing victim when caught. Her mom's face changed. She looked at Vanessa, asked if it was true. Vanessa started crying, said it was complicated, that she was young and stupid, that Lauren exaggerated everything. Her mom stood up, told Vanessa they were leaving, looked at me and said, "I'm sorry. I didn't know the full story. You don't owe her anything." They left. 3 weeks after the breakup, I asked Lauren out for real. We went to dinner, had a good time. She's direct and funny and doesn't play games. We went out again and again. A month after the breakup, we made it official. Started actually dating. I knew it would get back to Vanessa. Didn't take long. Vanessa lost it, posted vague things on social media about betrayal and family. Lauren blocked her. Then Vanessa showed up at Lauren's apartment one night around midnight. Drunk, crying, yelling in the hallway about how Lauren always takes everything from her. A neighbor called building security. They escorted Vanessa out. Lauren filed a complaint with the building. Vanessa's parents got involved then. Her dad called Lauren and apologized. Said they'd had no idea how bad things had gotten between the sisters. That they were trying to get Vanessa to see a therapist. Lauren said she appreciated that, but she and Vanessa were done as sisters. 2 months in, Vanessa tried one more time, sent me a long email, said she'd had time to think, that she'd been selfish and immature, that she never actually wanted Josh, she just wanted to feel wanted, that I was the one she loved, that we could start over if I just stopped seeing Lauren. I didn't respond, but I did forward it to Lauren. She read it and said, she still doesn't get it. She was right. Vanessa still thought this was about choosing between sisters. She didn't understand that the moment she asked for permission to cheat, she'd already lost me. Lauren just happened to be there when I was ready to move on. 4 months later, I saw something interesting on social media. Vanessa was dating someone new. Posted about him constantly. How mature he is, how lucky she is. Good for her. Hope it works out. Lauren and I are still together, 6 months now. It's good. Really good. She's straightforward and honest. We communicate. When she has a problem, she tells me. When I have a problem, I tell her. No games, no tests, no asking for hall passes. Her parents are fine with us now. Took them a minute to adjust to the weirdness of it, but they see that we're serious. Her dad told me he's glad someone in his family ended up with me. That felt good. My friends are split. Half think I'm brilliant. Other half think I'm an asshole for dating her sister. I think I'm just someone who refused to be plan B. Some people say I did this for revenge. I didn't. The Lauren thing wasn't even my plan originally. I just wanted to make a point to Vanessa about what opening a relationship actually means. It means both people are free to see other options. She wanted me to wait around while she explored. I refused. That I ended up with her sister is just how things worked out. Would I recommend dating your ex's sibling? No, it's complicated. There's family drama, awkward holidays, people judging, but in my case, I don't regret it. Vanessa showed me what she valued. Lauren showed me something better. I made my choice. Vanessa probably still tells people I'm the bad guy, that I used her to get to her sister, that I'm cruel and manipulative. Let her tell whatever story she needs to tell. People who know me know the truth. The truth is simple. Girl asks for open relationship. Guy says no and leaves. Guy meets someone better. Girl can't handle it. That's the story. And if that makes me an asshole, fine. I'm an asshole who's happy with someone who actually values me. I'll take that over being a doormat every single time. Dad called me last week, asked how things were with Lauren. I said great. He said good. That he was proud of me for not wasting time on someone who didn't appreciate me. That when someone shows you they don't value you, believe them the first time. He's right. Vanessa showed me exactly what she thought of me and our relationship when she asked for that hall pass. I just believed her and acted accordingly. Some people think you should fight for relationships, try to make them work. Put in the effort even when the other person isn't. I used to think that too. But now I think differently. I think when someone tells you they want to explore other options while keeping you as backup, The only winning move is to walk away. That's what I did. Walked away, moved forward, found something better. That Vanessa can't handle it isn't my problem anymore. She had 2 years with me. She gambled it on maybe having something better with Josh. She lost, and honestly, I won. Got out of a relationship with someone who didn't value me, found someone who does. Dodged a bullet, upgraded my life, call it revenge if you want, I call it good decision making. So that's the story, that's where we are now. Lauren and I are planning a trip next month. Her parents want us to come to their anniversary party. Life is good. Drama-free. Exactly how I like it. And if I ever run into Vanessa somewhere, I'll be polite, say hello, keep it brief. Keep it brief, 'cause I don't hate her. I'm just completely indifferent to her now. And honestly, that's probably worse for her than if I was still angry. Because anger means you still care. Indifference means you've moved on. And I've definitely moved on. Anyway, that's the whole thing. My friends wanted me to post it somewhere to see if I was wrong for how I handled it. So here it is. Judge however you want. I'm good either way. She said, if you don't propose by Valentine's Day, I'll go back to my ex. I replied, that's fair. Then on Valentine's Day, I took her to a nice dinner and broke up with her between appetizers and main course. When the waiter brought out the dessert she'd pre-ordered that said, say yes. Want to know how I dodged a bullet? Literally, by sitting down to a fancy dinner and standing up a single man. Best $147 I ever spent. I, 32M, dated Kimberly, 29F, for 2 years. Looking back, there were enough red flags to decorate a Communist Party convention, but hindsight is 20/20 and all that. First things first, Kimberly was gorgeous. Like, turn heads when she walks in gorgeous. She was also smart, marketing executive, funny when she wanted to be, and cultured, knew which fork to use for salad, which I'm still not sure about. But she had this intensity. The kind where you're never quite sure if she's about to kiss you or key your car. We met at my cousin's wedding. She was a friend of the bride, I was a reluctant groomsman. 3 vodka sodas in, we were making out behind the photo booth. By the end of the night, we were inseparable. Classic rom-com start, right? The first year was pretty great. Weekend trips, inside jokes, great sex, the works. She'd even laugh at my terrible puns, which no woman had ever done before or since. But somewhere around the 13-month mark, things started to shift. She began dropping marriage hints. Subtle at first, stopping to look at rings when we passed jewelry stores, tagging me in Instagram posts about perfect proposals, casually mentioning which of her friends were getting engaged. Then not so subtle, leaving bridal magazines at my place when she'd stay over, talking about what our kids might look like, asking my opinion on various wedding venues, just hypothetically. For context, we never officially moved in together. I had my apartment, she had hers, but we spent most nights at one place or the other. I kept a drawer and some basics at her place. She had the same at mine. It was a comfortable arrangement until it wasn't. I wasn't against marriage in theory. I just wasn't sure if Kimberly was the one. Something felt off. But every time I tried to have a conversation about taking things slow, she'd either burst into tears or get so angry the neighbors probably considered calling the police. Then she'd be perfectly fine the next day, like nothing had happened. Classic intermittent reinforcement. I'm no psychologist, but I've dated enough to recognize the pattern. The ultimatum came exactly 6 weeks before Valentine's Day, over dinner at my place. I'd made my specialty, mediocre spaghetti with sauce from a jar that I doctored up enough to pretend it was homemade. So, she said, twirling pasta around her fork with surgical precision, I was thinking about Valentine's Day. Already? It's still January, I replied, oblivious to the trap I was walking into. Well, I think it would be the perfect day for a proposal, don't you? Romantic, traditional. My parents got engaged on Valentine's Day. I nearly choked on my garlic bread. That's not really something I've thought about. Her smile remained fixed, but her eyes went cold. Well, you should start thinking about it, because if you don't propose to me by Valentine's Day, I'm going back to Michael. Michael? Her ex. The successful real estate developer she'd dated before me, who apparently still texted her regularly, a fact she never failed to mention whenever she was upset with me. You're giving me an ultimatum? I asked, genuinely stunned. I'm being efficient, she replied. I'm almost 30. I don't have time to waste on a relationship that isn't going anywhere. Michael is ready to commit. Are you? I stared at her for a long moment. That's fair, I finally said. She seemed surprised by my calm response, but pleased. Good, she said, and went back to her spaghetti like she hadn't just put a gun to our relationship's head. That night, while she slept beside me, I lay awake thinking. Not about rings or proposals, but about the fact that she was willing to jump from my bed to Michael's based on whether I produced a diamond by an arbitrary deadline, about how I felt more trapped than loved, about how the thought of spending my life with someone who operated on ultimatums made me break out in a cold sweat. Over the next few weeks, Kimberly was happier than I'd seen her in months. She assumed my "that's fair" meant I was on board with the proposal plan. She started getting her nails done more frequently, just in case today's the day, and left her ring size written on a post-it stuck to my bathroom mirror. Meanwhile, I was making plans of my own. I booked a table at Maison Laurent, a nice French bistro in the city. Not the fanciest place in town, but certainly upscale enough for a memorable night out. The kind of place where the candles are real, and the waitstaff actually pronounce the specials correctly. Kimberly had mentioned it a few times as somewhere she'd like to try. I also started strategically removing my belongings from her apartment. Nothing obvious. She wouldn't notice a few books missing, or that half my drawer was emptier than usual, especially since she'd been staying at my place more often that month. I changed all my passwords. I made sure my name wasn't on any of her accounts. Valentine's Day arrived. Kimberly spent the day at a spa getting proposal ready. Her words via text. I picked her up at 7 and she looked stunning in a red dress that probably cost more than my monthly car payment. Her expression when we pulled up to Maison Laurent was one of pleased surprise. You remembered I wanted to try this place, she whispered, squeezing my arm as the valet took my car. Of course, I replied. I'd also remembered to bring only one car. Strategic. The hostess showed us to a table near the window. I'd requested a quiet spot when making the reservation, and they delivered. Kimberly's eyes lit up at the single rose in a vase at the center of the table. This is perfect, she said, looking around with anticipation, probably scanning for hidden photographers or musicians or whatever grand gesture she'd been fantasizing about. It's a special night, I replied, and it wasn't even a lie. We ordered drinks, then appetizers. Kimberly chose some kind of deconstructed caprese salad that cost $14 and was mostly artful balsamic drizzle. I had the French onion soup, partly because I'd always loved it, and partly because I figured a warm, comforting dish might make what was coming next marginally easier. The conversation was strained. Kimberly kept glancing at my jacket pocket, probably searching for a ring-sized bulge. I kept checking my watch, calculating how much longer I needed to maintain the charade. After the appetizers, when there was a lull in the conversation, I reached across the table and took her hand. Kimberly, I said softly. Her face lit up. This was it, the moment she'd been waiting for. These past 2 years have made me realize something important, I continued. She was already tearing up. Poor thing thought she was getting a proposal. I don't want to marry you. Not on Valentine's Day. Not ever. We're done. Her expression froze, then crumpled, then hardened. What? You gave me an ultimatum, propose by Valentine's Day or you go back to Michael. I'm choosing option 3. I walk away. Is this a joke? She hissed, gripping her wine glass so tightly I thought it might shatter. No joke. I've had weeks to think about it. Someone who truly loved me wouldn't threaten to leave if I didn't put a ring on their finger by an arbitrary deadline. That's not love. It's coercion. Her face was cycling through emotions faster than a slot machine. You bastard, she finally said, voice trembling. You brought me to a nice restaurant on Valentine's Day to break up with me? I figured if you were going to force my hand, I might as well make it memorable. She looked around wildly, suddenly aware that people at nearby tables were starting to glance our way. I can't believe you're doing this to me, in public, on Valentine's Day. Would you have preferred I did it at home, so you could throw things at me? Or at your place, where you could refuse to let me leave? I know you, Kimberly. This was the safest option for everyone. You planned this, she said, realization dawning. All of it. I nodded. I did, just like you planned your ultimatum. She started to stand up, probably to storm out, when a waiter appeared tableside. "Your main courses will be out shortly," he said, refilling our water glasses. "And Miss Palmer, the dessert you ordered when you confirmed the reservation this morning has been prepared." I raised an eyebrow at Kimberly, who had gone very still. "I don't think we'll be needing that," she said quickly. The waiter looked confused. "But it's already prepared." The pastry chef added the special message as requested. Now I was curious. What special message? The waiter looked uncomfortable, glancing between us. "It's a chocolate cake with, say yes, written in frosting." Oh God. She'd added a custom dessert when confirming our reservation this morning. She'd been so certain of a proposal that she'd arranged her own celebratory cake. "Bring it," I said, ignoring Kimberly's horrified expression. "But," she started. "I insist. I've paid for this dinner. I might as well see it through to the end." The waiter, now sensing the tension, backed away towards the kitchen. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" Kimberly whispered furiously. "A little bit, yeah? You've been manipulating me for months. Turnabout is fair play." "I'm leaving," she announced, grabbing her purse. "That's your prerogative. But it's 28 degrees outside, and you didn't bring a car. Also, your coat is at the check, and our food is almost here." She sat back down, defeated by logistics. We sat in excruciating silence until the main courses arrived. Kimberly stared at her $27 salmon like it had personally betrayed her. I ate my steak frites with genuine enthusiasm. Nothing improves the taste of a good steak like the knowledge that you've just escaped a bullet. Finally, the moment arrived. The waiter returned, looking distinctly uncomfortable, carrying a small chocolate cake on a plate. As he placed it on the table, I could clearly see the message written in white frosting. "Say yes." The other diners nearby noticed the cake, but politely pretended not to observe the obvious tension at our table. I said, examining the dessert. "Seems a bit presumptuous, doesn't it?" The waiter, eager to escape, asked if we needed anything else. When we shook our heads, he retreated quickly. Kimberly leaned across the table. "I hate you," she whispered. "That's fair," I replied, echoing my response to her ultimatum. "But you know what's not fair? Trying to force someone into marriage by threatening to leave them for an ex. That's not love, Kim. That's not even close." Her phone buzzed. She pulled it out, read something, then looked back at me with narrowed eyes. "It's Michael. Want me to tell him I'm available now?" "Go for it. You two deserve each other." I signaled for the check, and the waiter brought it promptly. I handed him my credit card without looking at the total. The bill came to $147, including tip. Expensive for a normal dinner, but a bargain for the life lesson. As we waited for him to return, Kimberly fixed her makeup in a compact mirror, transforming back into the polished, perfect woman I'd arrived with. "You know," she said, snapping the compact shut, "you could have just said no to my ultimatum weeks ago. Saved us both the time and embarrassment." I shook my head. "Would you have accepted that? Or would you have cried, threatened, manipulated until I gave in? Be honest." She didn't answer, which was answer enough. The waiter returned with my card and the receipt. I signed it, leaving a generous tip. The staff had endured enough drama for one night. "Your car, sir?" the hostess asked as we approached the exit. "Yes, please," I replied, then turned to Kimberly. "Do you want me to drop you somewhere?" She glared at me while typing on her phone. "I'm ordering an Uber. It'll be here in 4 minutes." "All right, I'll wait with you until it arrives." "Don't bother," she snapped, but I stood with her anyway. February in our city was too cold to leave anyone standing alone outside, even Kimberly. When her Uber pulled up, she gave me one last withering look. "You'll regret this." "Goodbye, Kimberly," I said simply, and watched her go. Then I got in my car and drove home, feeling lighter than I had in months. The fallout was about what you'd expect. Kimberly told our mutual friends that I'd humiliated her, led her on, wasted 2 years of her life. Some believed her. Most saw through it, especially when she started dating Michael again within a couple of weeks. She also sent me a Venmo request for $200 with the note, "Ring deposit non-refundable." Apparently she'd put money down on an engagement ring she was convinced I'd be buying. I declined the request and blocked her on Venmo and every other platform. It's been 6 months since that Valentine's Day. I'm single, but not looking. Taking time to figure out how I missed so many red flags for so long. and why a part of me still misses her sometimes, despite everything. The heart is a strange and stubborn organ, but you know what? I don't regret a thing. Not the breakup, not the way I did it, not even the $147 dinner. Because there's only one thing more expensive than leaving a toxic relationship, and that's staying in it. Oh, and in case you're wondering, Michael and Kimberly got engaged last month after dating again for about 5 months. Their wedding is set for Valentine's Day next year. Poor bastard doesn't stand a chance. Edit. Whoa. Didn't expect this many responses. Thanks for the comments and awards. Just want to clarify a few things that keep coming up. 1. Yes, I know public breakups are usually a dick move, but this was a controlled environment with minimal audience, and given her history of volatile reactions, it felt like the safest option. She once threw my PlayStation 5 controller across the room because I was paying more attention to Hogwarts Legacy than to her. Another time, she refused to let me leave her apartment during an argument and blocked the door for 2 hours. So yeah, public breakup was a strategic choice, not just petty revenge. 2. No, I'm not planning to attend their wedding, though several friends have suggested I RSVP with a picture of a cake that says, "I said no." 3. Several people asked if she was worth it for the 2 years. Physically? Yes. Emotionally? Hell no, not even close. The sex doesn't outweigh the scars. 4. And for those saying I'm the asshole for wasting her time when she was clearly ready for marriage, when someone gives you an ultimatum to propose or they'll go back to their ex, they're not ready for marriage. They're ready for a hostage situation with paperwork. 5. For those wondering why I didn't just break up with her when she gave the ultimatum, I was genuinely shocked and needed time to process. I also knew from past experience that an immediate rejection would lead to tears, bargaining, and more manipulation. The restaurant setting allowed for a clean break. Update. 8 months later. Well, this is unexpected. I was going to let this story fade into Reddit oblivion, but something happened yesterday that I thought you all might appreciate. I was at my friend Jack's birthday dinner at a casual restaurant downtown when I spotted Michael at the bar. Alone. When he saw me, instead of avoiding eye contact, he actually came over to our table. "Can I talk to you for a minute?" he asked. I excused myself from my friends and we stepped away to a quiet corner. Long story short, he called off the engagement to Kimberly about a month ago. Turns out she pulled the exact same ultimatum stunt on him that she tried with me, except this time it was, either we move the wedding up from Valentine's Day to December, or I'm calling my coworker Steve. Apparently there's always another guy in the wings. The breaking point? He overheard her on the phone with a custom bakery discussing a wedding cake with "finally locked down" written on it in red icing. Not "true love prevails" or "forever begins," or any normal wedding cake message. Finally locked down. "I should have listened when you warned the group chat about her," he said, ordering a beer for himself and offering me one, which I declined since I was driving. "But I thought you were just bitter." To be fair, I was definitely bitter, I admitted. We ended up talking for about 20 minutes. He's actually not a bad guy. Successful, yes, but not the arrogant douche I'd imagined. Just another victim of Kimberly's particular brand of emotional terrorism. The real kicker? After he broke it off, she apparently tried to contact me through a mutual friend to reconnect and heal. I never responded because I still have her blocked on everything. But according to Michael, she told him that I had been begging for another chance and that she was torn between 2 loves. The mutual friend later confirmed that Kimberly had indeed asked for my number, but the begging part was complete fiction. In fact, the friend had explicitly told her I wasn't interested. So that's where we are now. Kimberly is apparently telling people I'm stalking her. I'm not. Michael is moving to Seattle for work, and I'm still enjoying my drama-free existence. Though I will say, I haven't been back to Maison Laurent since that night. Some places are better left as memories. Life is weird, folks, but at least it's not boring. Final update 1 year later. This will be my last update on the Valentine's Day cake saga. I'm happy to report that I am now in a healthy relationship with someone who has never once threatened to leave me for an ex. Her name is Ellie. She's a veterinarian, and when I explained this whole story to her on our 3rd date, she laughed so hard she snorted wine through her nose. Teeper. As for Kimberly, I've heard through the grapevine that she's now engaged to husband number 3. She was briefly married in her early 20s, something I only learned post-breakup. Apparently, this one is a surgeon, and they met when she twisted her ankle coming down the stairs at her apartment building the week after Michael moved away. Drama follows her like a shadow. Michael and I exchange texts occasionally. He's dating a nice, normal woman who doesn't make him walk on eggshells or demand proposals via pastry. Last Valentine's Day, Ellie and I stayed home, ordered pizza, and watched bad movies. It was perfect. No ultimatums, no cakes with messages, no emotional blackmail. Just two people who like being together without needing to force it. Sometimes I think about how close I came to being trapped in a marriage with someone who viewed relationships as competitions to be won, rather than partnerships to be nurtured. That $147 dinner was the best investment I've ever made in my own happiness. To anyone out there facing similar ultimatums, whether they're about marriage, children, career choices, whatever, remember this. Someone who truly loves you won't try to force your hand. They'll walk beside you, not drag you forward or push you back. And they definitely won't order passive-aggressive desserts behind your back. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. This case is officially closed.